Hi, my name is Mark Baldwin. I'm a trainer with the IS department, and this is my cube. Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at some templates already made for you in SharePoint. It will really help you in getting started using SharePoint by having something already started for you that will not require the legwork. Well, what we do is we go to the ep2.riosalato.edu, and then we point to Innovation at Rio, and then we click on Resource Sandbox, and let's see what happens from there. You're now looking at what would be a splash page, which gives introduction to your department, which would have department information, department links, contact, stuff like that. Well, we want to build those sites that you can have access to if you have department permission levels. So let's go ahead and go to Site Actions, click on Create. Now this is the area where you can actually add all kinds of things like libraries. Look at all of those right there. Picture libraries, communications, announcements, contacts, discussion boards, tracking. Look at all that. Tasks, project tasks, really good stuff in there. Surveys. Custom list is really neat. You can do lots of stuff with that. KPI list, which would be key performance indicators. Well, what we want to do is we need to build a website to put that into. So let's go over to the section that says Web Pages, and we want to build an actual site. That's because it has document libraries and such data like that that will work very well with what we're doing. So go ahead and click on Sites and Workspaces. Now name it something that makes sense for what you're doing, something so that we can find it easily. So go ahead. A description also, something that will be able to explain what it is that this site is so we can know what it is on a later date. Now take a look at this. This URL name is already very massive. Okay, we want to make a short name, as short as possible. We don't want to extend it out to 20 letters or so. We don't want to put spaces. We don't want to put underscores. That becomes extremely confusing. So go ahead and type in something that's short and sweet and gets the point across. We're going to look at templates in just a second. The real important thing down here is user permissions. You're going to want to keep that the same as the parent site. The parent site is the main page. So the splash page would be one, and then you would build another site that would have access to maybe everybody in your department, and then from there you would spread them out and you would change permissions. But you want to change permissions after you've made the site. The reason why is because it causes a disconnect that will no longer allow the permissions to be changed automatically. Like if somebody moves from one department to another or changes positions, if you change it, if you separate it out now, it will not make those changes along all sites. In other words, simply make it the same as the parent site, go in your site later and change it. Now you do want to keep the top link bar the same as the parent site. There's very few reasons to get rid of that. If you look on the left side of the video you're watching right now, you'll see some tabs that will take you to other templates. You can try one, click on it, it'll show you a demo of that template, then you can go ahead and do another demo, and you can walk through and see exactly what you're doing. Then you can go back to the EP2 and you can try it out yourself. So please explore, have fun, and let us know how it goes. Hope this worked for you. Thanks. You've chosen the team site template, so we name it to match. And I'm going to choose team site. Scroll down. The permission choices we discuss in other trainings, but we suggest you leave that alone until you discuss with your administrator how you want the permissions to work. Of course you can separate it here, but it's not suggested because it will separate the site from all the other permissions, and you might want to do that later after you've discussed it with your administrator. You do want to keep the top link bar same as the parent site. You click on Create, and we now are going to be looking at a team site. This is a site that shows the basic web parts that are used most often: an announcement, a calendar, a link, as discussed in the web parts training. And what we're going to have is a simple view. You can add web parts, you can delete web parts, as we show you in the more complex training and the in-person trainings that we offer. So this is a good site, really simple. Just remember that since you have the navigation on the left, you don't want to make a web part that is so large that it fills up the whole screen without understanding how this will affect the look and feel of your web page. The calendar is a good example. You can change the view of it as is shown in the web part training area, and really you don't probably want to do that in a team site because it will not fit all the other things that you have. Remember, if you want to edit the page, you go to Site Actions, Edit Page, and you can go ahead and edit what you will. If I want to delete this picture, for example, hit the X, exit edit mode, it's gone. I can add a link here, add a new announcement, add a new event, and we're all good. Thanks. You've chosen the document in Workspace. We've named it to match, and you click on Document Workspace, scroll down. The permission levels are discussed in other trainings and in the one-on-one and large training sessions, but mainly we suggest you leave the permissions alone as it is. Go back in later with your administrator and either change those or do it on your own, either later, deciding who can kind of look at the site. You can do it from here, but we do suggest you do it at a later date so that you don't create it with those lockouts immediately. That is up to you, of course. Use the top bar from the parent site. Yes. Let's click Create. Now we are looking at a document sharing workspace. Now basically what we can do here, it has an announcement area to add new announcement. This is really good because you can say, hey, I just made a change or something of that nature. Go down to shared documents and you're going to add a document. All you have to do is add a new document and you upload the document. No problem. Also, you go to tasks, you add a new task. Say what the task is, priority, status, if it's been completed, who's it assigned to, description. This is all really good for making sure that your group, your area, your team, that they are working on the same page. So it's a very, very, very useful site. Links, this could be important for maybe linking to some kind of secondary information or something. Now, the members and groups, to be honest, most of you will not use this. So a simple way to do this is go to Site Actions, go to Edit Page, and we can just delete that and hit the X, and it is now gone. It doesn't hurt you. That was just more for a higher level, which most of you will not use. And now you have a really good shared document page. It's already been created, and it's all ready to go. You can see there are lots of different meeting workspaces, but the one we're going to show you today is one that we believe will be used quite often at Rio once you take a look at the potential. What you're going to do is you're going to pick a name that fits, click on Decision Meeting Workspace, scroll down, click Create. Now the reason why this is a little bit better than the other meetings is because you can add a decision that was made after the meeting. So let's take a look. First thing is an objective. You just add a new item and you can type in what the main objective is or what the 20 objectives are of this meeting. Attendees. Let's manage the attendees. Let's go to New. Let's do myself. And I'm going to say right here, trainer. And I'm going to, let's say response, I've accepted. Attendance, let's call myself the organizer. I press OK. Now let's do another new one. And I'm going to say Monica, the other trainer. And we're going to say trainer again. And this could be any kind of notes or something that was done even during the meeting. We can go back and retro that later. Response, let's just call her tentative. Attendance, let's say optional. Now I go over, I press OK. Now I use this right here, and I click on Decision Meeting. This is a breadcrumb trail, just like Hansel and Gretel, but I click on Decision Meeting Workspace. Now I'm back, and look, we have the attendees, Mark Baldwin, trainer, accepted. Monica Castellano, tentative. Really simple, easy to use. The agenda. This is basically, we click on Add New Item. We have the subject, the owner of that, the time of it, notes that happen either during the agenda or what's supposed to be done during the agenda, and you can add that really simply. Also, the document library. This is any documents that either need to be used during the meeting, before the meeting, or that were done after the meeting, are all to be put right here. This can all be accessed from, remember, any computer that has internet access, we can get into this. So that's a great reason for uploading things into here, because you don't need to email it. It's all a security risk. This is all tied to our secure network. And you can only get to these documents if you have the proper permissions and you've logged in. All right, now the last two are, we got the tasks. So you add a new item there. And let's go ahead and we could just say training. Priority, let's just say, let's call it high. Status, in progress. Percent complete, let's just say 35%. Assigned to me. And we can go ahead and description, so we'll just say training, and start date, we'll say now, and then due date, let's just say the 22nd. Go ahead and press OK. And look, here's the task. Really simple. Now the decisions. This is basically a list of things that have been decided from that meeting. So we go to add new item, and you got the decision. Really simple. So what's it called, contact, and the status, pending approval or proposed. So all kinds of things can be done using this meeting workspace, and we highly suggest you take a look at this. You've chosen to create a blog, so make sure you name it appropriately. Click on blog, scroll all the way down the bottom, and click on create. And now you'll see you have a blog. Right here in the middle is something very nice. It tells you what a blog is and how to work the site. So please make sure you read that and see exactly what. You can see where you can scroll to the right, you can create a post, you can manage posts, you can manage comments, you can do all kinds of content, set blog permissions, launch blog programs. You can do all kinds of things from the administration links. So make sure you take a look at that, see how it works, and experiment. And on the left, you see a whole bunch of links. You got categories, you can do links to other blogs, you can do links to photos. This is extremely useful. In the IS department, Edward Kelty, our dean, he uses a blog to keep the IS department up on information to do with different meetings and such. And we think that blogs can be used incredibly for meetings and for all levels of people at Rio. So please take a look, see how useful it is to you, try it out, test it, and hope you were able to use this. Thanks.